Why wait any longer, Dan? This is going to be a huge one. Rapha versus Maxter, best of 3 in the upper bracket. And chat, make some noise. Whether you want Rapha or Maxter to win, this one is going to be a battle.
It's going to be an absolute brawl as we start over on the reigning champion, Rapha himself, using that Doom with the full mobility around the map. And I do expect him to try and just get up onto that high ground, keep the rail angles at a minimum. See what's up.
Rails off early here, 30 seconds in. Still not really anything to be alarmed about. Fighting on the mid ground now. Who's going to get first blood? There's a little bit of rocket damage. Good return rail from Maxter there. That's going to stop any kind of assault from Rapha. Another follow-up rail from Maxter. And this is where he's dangerous. Still has the spit too. If you could just chain together these, he misses with that. Does do the spit for a little bit of insurance here. Here's a good rocket jump from Rapha. Tries to get the angle to cut off on the heavy. The punches come out. Dan, is he going to convert? Maxter's so weak, but the range. Rapha has to wait a little bit longer to try and spill first blood here.
Yeah, some great initiation rails from Maxter, but then getting a little bit too greedy. Should have just played the items, and now it's going to come back to pay as he's so incredibly weak, as we can see here on the run from Rapha. Does hit a rail, but it's not going to be enough. Rapha's still healthy enough to stick around. There's still 8 seconds before the heavy, so Rapha needs to get back onto this mid ground to nullify the aggression from Maxter that's coming out. Heavy machine guns there just to whittle down Rapha, but he will be able to pick up that item. And Maxter now needs to reset and try to get some weaponry of his own.
Really like the use of the machine gun. Maxter trying to max damage wherever he can, even when he doesn't have rail, although he's trying to make it rain with that rail and just getting stuffed with rockets, and that's the second frag for Rapha as he catches Maxter out. Maxter wisely decides not to go for rail immediately, but Rapha with the read into the shotgun gets another frag. So patient from Rapha, up 3 early.
Long time before the mega, which is exactly where Maxter spawned, and he's struggling to even get the rail. As we said, it's going to be a key weapon, and guess what? Rapha's got it on lockdown.
Maxter actually shimming his way onto this mega, but taking so much damage that it doesn't even matter. Rapha willing to sacrifice if he can get this frag, and he's so close. The tri-bolt won't net him the frag, but Maxter weak and stuck on this part of the map.
Yeah, and Rapha's actually just delaying killing him so he can get across to the heavies, take up all the lights for free without any challenge, and now he's got the whole map. He'll be willing to push back across and finish off his prey. There you go.
There's the drop down with the shoddy Pippin 4-0. Rapha firmly in control of this one, but still early days. So Maxter just needs to be able to try and get a frag, and then this could spiral the other way. Very momentum-based map here on Deep Embrace.
Absolutely. It's exactly why we see a lot of players banning Deep, because as much as you like it, it can just spiral out of control so incredibly quickly. And we haven't even seen Maxter have a look in beyond that initial engagement where he hit a few great initiation rails. Rapha's done an amazing job. We've barely seen Maxter at all. And Rapha's not even wanting to use the rail. He's just trying to close the gap, use the tri-bolt for efficient spam, whittle down the stack with the lightning gun. And here he'll be able to pick up, well, at least pick up the items. So he's done, once again, he's done all the damage he needs. He can just rotate the map, take all the lights. I mean, Maxter's got 1 light and 1 heavy to his name. Nothing else. Just
really, really rough item control from Maxter, and Rapha getting so much mileage out of that tri-bolt. Maxter off the spawn is able to get to the heavy because of the delay over by the mega. Still just struggling to get anything going is Maxter. That's a good rail, but Rapha has the mega to fall back on to completely negate any kind of damage. Use a decent cutoff from Maxter, but he can't land the rail. The shotgun is going to land the spit. Going to do some damage, but 225 is going to negate that rather quickly.
Yeah, this could turn a brutal really quick, because Maxter doesn't seem to have an answer for the way Rapha's playing at the moment. You can see the amount of spam coming out from Rapha. He doesn't want to take any chances. He just wants to play a nice, slow, calculated game against Maxter. None of this kerfuffle BS we've seen in previous series. He's stamping authority and stamping control.
This is perhaps the first opportunity for Maxter to gain full control. 10 seconds still to heavy. Rapha on the back foot now, but he's still aggressing 2 HP, and there's Maxter, and this is the opening that he needs. Relatively clean frag. Heavy's coming up as well, and this is Maxter's chance to get back into this. A little under halfway through. Missing with that initial rail here. Does have the spit and all the weapons that he needs. Lacking a little bit of LG. That's a big rocket there. 100 damage. Mega's up. Maxter's going to miss out on it.
Yeah, Lightning Gun's been the pivotal weapon so far, so maxter needs to be careful and also respond in kind because he keeps getting caught off guard like this time and time again. And it's also one of the reasons why Sorlag is difficult to play on this map. Can't get up to that high ground very easy. Yes, you have the air control and you can use the wall clipping, but it's quite easy to be caught, which is exactly what we see here.
Big lead for Rapha here, halfway through. 7 frags. Magic Man has to pull something out of his hat here, Dan, as the rails again missing from maxter, but Rapha, he won't miss his shots. Maxter on the back foot already, very, very weak. Just waiting, baiting those 225s, knowing that maxter has to go somewhere to restack.
Yeah, they had
in the rail.
Rapha's playing out of this world. The item control is on point. You can see just how careful he's being in and around the map. Normally we see him play at a slightly higher tempo, but every one of these engagements is incredibly calculated. Just understanding how's my opponent going to deal damage and just managing the situation time and time again. And once again, maxter just rocket jump out, but he can't even get up to the high ground. He's not going to get the heavy. Rapha's just going to delay this frag once again. He doesn't need to rush it. Just make sure it's done cleanly because you don't want to be giving up any messy frags against the Sorlag.
Oh, and maxter actually gets a rail, somehow survives. Does end up taking a rail, and he's just as weak as he was, and it's only a matter of time. There's a tickle, does get a rail on the way out. Rapha, again, timing the fight, has the Mega to his back, and he's going to restack very quickly, and maxter jumps back into the fray with the rockets and says, you know what, time to pick up the pace.
But that's the first frag that wasn't clean from Rapha. We can see what happens. This is exactly why he's being so damn careful time and time again to get these clean frags, because that prevents maxter from being able to just run in and cause chaos.
And even when maxter gets the frag, Rapha's right on top of that dinosaur again. LG machine gun, whatever he needs. Good rail, follow-up rail from Rapha. So he's heating up, going for the triple E. Wow.
Wow, indeed. maxter living with a shotgun and a heavy machine gun. Hasn't been able to get across the map to get any other weapon at this point, and Rapha is making this look like a textbook deep embrace.
Less than 3 minutes onto this one. Rough first map for maxter indeed, but it is a best of 3. And there's still time. He can get some momentum going. I don't know if he could pull it back, especially if Rapha's going to plant him with that rail right there.
The most impressive thing has just been the overall game plan from Rapha, the way in which he takes fights, always in a position where he's the one that can back onto an item, whether it's heavies, megas, lights. Rapha's got 18 lights, maxter's only got 6. He's the guy that's got the biggest stack. He's the guy that's needed all the items and he can't get them. Rapha is just managing these situations perfectly.
Yeah, beautiful job of taking little chip fights, dealing damage, and knowing that he could restack while maxter has nothing to work with, and regardless of the rails that maxter starts hitting, again, Rapha right to the light, back to the Mega. Pretty standard game, and he's doing it beautifully. The execution is fantastic, Dan.
Yeah, can't fault him. That's exactly why. He's the best player in the world, so brought his A game today. He knew he had to against maxter, and making it look effortless at this point in time.
Indeed, as again, it's only map number 1, but to look ahead a little bit, Rapha is potentially working on a 3-peat if he can take these Stage 2 finals. It's still a long road ahead. Definitely a good start, especially in this series, 13-2. There's a little bit over a minute left, and he's going to corner maxter. The shotgun not landing quite yet. maxter trying to fight out of the corner, but it's a bit futile here as Rapha's able to grab that heavy yet again and negate the spit at his leisure with the 25. And if you're maxter, I don't know. It's just, you didn't get to play the game that you wanted in terms of dictating the pace and playing aggressive, and Rapha just had all the answers, took the better positions to be able to fall back on those items, as we mentioned, and like you highlighted earlier, 21 light armors, let alone the 13 heavies and the 12 megas. The item control firmly in Rapha's grasp, the damage out of control, 1k more damage, as maxter does plant him with that rail, 30 seconds left. But yeah, this was all the Rapha show.
I mean, you can partly say that he got deep embraced. This is just what can happen. If you think back to the open engagements, maxter had the upper hand, got a little bit greedy, didn't take the heavy, missed a few rails. Rapha got a clean frag and just absolutely snowballed. But countering that, the game plan was absolutely perfect from Rapha. And of all the competitors we've seen so far, this has been the most commanding victory.
Totally agree. If Maxter's got the kiss of death, then Rapha's got the hug of doom, Dan, as he takes map number 1, plants that firmly on his side of the fence. And going into map number 2, Vale, I don't know. Momentum-based, we'll see. We'll see if Maxter can get more of what his play style is going on map number 2. Again, it's going to be Keel versus Galena. I don't know, it might be tough. We've seen Galena played super aggressive before, but can Maxter do it this time? He needs to. His upper bracket life on the line again. If he loses, not the biggest deal getting knocked into the lowers, but there's killers down there. It's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, you don't want to be down in the lower bracket. He's shown us some amazing skills so far, but you never want to have to be in a scrap like the lower bracket. I'm a little bit worried now, I have to say. He thrives in champions. He can have the ability to create speed and chaos, and Galena isn't a champion you can do that with. It's much more about the strategy, much more about playing methodically, creating your fortress of totems and playing the map and controlling the map. And Vale is a difficult one to do that on, particularly against a Keel and particularly against Rapha on a Keel. So, Maxter fans, I wouldn't feel too confident going into this particular map. This was Deep Embrace, should have been the one he puts up a competitive fight. He just got deep embraced by Rapha.
Yeah, the Magic Man again, as we said before, has to pull a little something out of his hat on Vale, and I feel like Rapha going into this has the momentum and might throw that Keel weight around. Again, the stack is gigantic, and we're probably going to see a little more aggression, but still calculated, not careless, but definitely has more to work with in terms of just pure base stack, and once he gets those items going, could be absolute domination. So Maxter does have to be careful.
Yeah, he still put out a lot of damage, like 4,100. But
yeah,
like again, he never had a look in on the map. The efficiency from Rapha, he was willing to soak up all of that damage in his pushes, but he had all the position to fall back onto the items. I mean, nearly tripled the items totally, right? That's just insane.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. But great, yeah, great damage output, but the items negated all of it. Again, positioning, taking those fights, knowing that I could take this amount of damage while I'm dealing damage and know that I will take your items away. And I'll look pretty good stack-wise and be able to finish the kills before the majors.
Yeah, doubled the HP healed, well over doubled the items. Every one of the engagements he came out low, but just had all of the resources stacked back up, meaning Maxter spawned with nothing, and he just went back on and controlled the weapons.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if Maxter hits a little bit more of those rails, maybe 45–50%, which isn't necessarily easy, but that does turn the tide a little bit, and as you said, Deep Embrace kind of snowbally, so maybe a couple missed rails did kind of attribute to the downfall of Maxter on Deep Embrace, but Vale's gonna be a whole nother ball game, and we'll see if he can muster up what he needs to send us to map number 3.
It'll be tough, but he's gonna have to now, isn't he? Last chance saloon in the upper bracket.
Yep, and then going against, you know, as you said, the best Quake player, 2-time champion working on a 3-peat. It's no easy task, but he's done it before, although scale's not going to be there. The sandals aren't there to protect him this time. He's going to have to rely on Galena and the power of Christ to compel Rapha. We'll see if he can do it. The totem game is going to be big, I feel like. It's going to be a strong factor if he can get that overstack going, but again, I feel like Rapha is just no stranger to that. He's going to be able to suss those out relatively quickly. I don't feel like overstack's going to be that big of a factor.
No, I don't imagine. He's going to have to find a way, because going up into the Keel, you need all the resources in your pocket to be able to do that. And Rapha is exceptional at setting a fast tempo on Keel, which makes your life a misery. So it really is pressure on Maxter to see how he can adjust to that, because Rapha's definitely going to bring all the pain and his A game once again. He's seen and shown us he's more than on form and looks completely ready.
Well, let's start jumping around. Map number 2 is live, as this could be a house of pain. Rapha starting off. It looks like we're starting off on Maxter, actually.
I just realized the poor guys on YouTube have your chest hair in 4K.
You leave my taco meat alone. How dare you? I'm very offended, as 20 seconds in, not that big of a skirmish. Big rails from Maxter, and I'm just now realizing that we just had the picks completely wrong.
Yeah, was that the scoreboard the wrong way around?
Was that a me thing?
I'm so confused.
need to slam more energy drinks, but regardless, all right, Rapha is on the Galena.
Okay.
Maxter is on the Keel, and this completely flips the script in terms of Maxter, please check for totems this time.
Yeah, but I mean, this suits this actually changes my prediction a lot. I thought Maxter was on the Galena. Okay, I don't know how we absolutely messed that up, but whatever. We're in the game, and Maxter's got 2 frags.
I blame you and my chest hair as Maxter takes a 2-frag lead. Rapha trying to close the gap, and luckily does. If that rocket would have popped, that could have been curtains for Rapha. He does get in on the Mega. He's going to drop down and try and tie this back up, but Maxter, so much firepower. The totem will stack Rapha back up, and yeah, the times, they are a changing here. So he got caught off guard, didn't he?
Well, 2-2. Very quickly, that lead has been eradicated, but Rapha's been left low. We saw the importance of last map in making sure you secure clean kills on your heavy champion opponents. Rapha did not do that this time, so he has to reposition very early onto the Mega. Maxter's there with the lightning gun. He's going to try and melt him down. He's going to rocket jump up. That's ballsy, but it's perfect timing. Does it, knocks Rapha on, gets a clean stack. Maxter.
That is a Maxter play. And he's going to convert again as Rapha's so weak, and the tickle takes him down. 2 frags up for Maxter.
He's caught him again. It should be another frag. He's stuck up the high ground. Got to do lots of damage. The pineapple's there. And then, wow, another frag, 5 frag. I have to say, 40, this is the map that Maxter took on Rapha. It was Veil. He had Scale Bearer, but this was the map he took.
And this is just a different world. Again, apologies for the picks. I blame Dan completely and my chest hair, but here we are. This is the reality that we have, Dan, okay? We have to admit our faults. 5-2. So Rapha looks like he's the one paying for his sins for now. 2:30 in, still very, very early, but Maxter off to a strong start. And again, throwing around that Keel weight, as I mentioned, not converting on big damage on that one. But the key is, please look at the totems. Again, the downfall of Maxter before was not clearing out the totems on Exile.
Yeah, but Rapha has 0 totems, so he's doing his job. He's also setting a fast tempo. He's got both items on lockdown. Rapha wants to go through, but he's going to take a lot of damage if he does. He just wants to do as much damage as he can. He knows he's got a totem in the pocket. Could even get a frag here, but he decides to back off. He's done his job. He's managed to stack, which puts him up perfectly to take these 2 lights, because he's the one that backed off. And now get back in position for the heavy. So again, great game management from Rapha.
Every time you say he's done his job, I just think, job's done. But regardless, he has done his job. What a big rocket from Maxter into the shotgun. The Magic Man does it again, Dan.
Get out of here. Although Rapha spawned over by the Mega, we'll be able to pick that up and bully his opponent away, but this is exactly what he does best. He just causes chaos.
Oh man, 4 frag lead, and that's going to leave more work for Rapha. 340, oh no, he's going to drop into the damage of the air rocket! Oh my god, into the acid, Rapha goes down! Maxter, please! What other tricks do you have up your sleeve, you madman? Oh my god, he almost made that work too, Dan. And Dan absolutely speechless as he spit his coffee all over the place. There's another rail. Maxter going through the telly and hits a vertical rail on Rapha. 7-2, and this is such a rare sight to behold.
This is City, and Maxter on the heavy. He's got all the weapons. He's just going to stroll on round towards his Mega, and Rapha has literally been hit by a truck. He's got 1 totem up now. He needs to start from scratch, and he's got 6 minutes on a 5 frag deficit to do it in.
Maxter will take these trades all day as he's leaving Rapha weak. And now Maxter's the one that has the items to fall back on. Big split for now, but missing with that rail. Rapha has to be careful, has to double back. And the flick rail from Maxter into a double 8-2. This is insane.
Well, this is one. That's why you can't give him momentum. Unfortunately, he didn't get any in the last map. Rapha controlled it perfectly, but he hasn't been able to control the chaos this time and just getting bounced and bullied, and this is delightful and brutal.
Oh, delightful if you're a Maxter fan, brutal if you're a Rapha fan, but this is looking more and more like we are going to go all 3. I don't want to call it early by any means, but Maxter just has this momentum right now. Driving that heavy, Rapha punishing the failed rocket jump. There's a rail almost into another one, but Maxter doesn't quite pull the trigger now. He does have to get back to the Mega, but not too early, and Rapha's got rails of his own, stringing them together, taking that frag.
We do know how difficult it is to forge these comebacks against heavy champions, so you have to get clean kills and you have to string them together. That was a relatively clean one just before, but here comes Maxter. He's not afraid, he's just running straight at him with a rail and a pineapple. Rapha has to back off, having eaten so much damage. Heavy's up, but Max is in position to hit a rail. Nice little flick. Pineapple comes out, and a second! 10-3. 66% rail.
And off the spawn, just another rail, leaving Rapha so weak. And as we said, the totem game has to be perfect, and maxter again deleting them just on cue. Doing a great job. Overstack's not a factor, and Rapha is left with just pure mechanics that he has to deal with. He has to be able to out-aim and out-damage and chew through this stack of maxter, and it's just not happening, and it is not easy by any means here. As another heavy goes to maxter. There's the LG, pushing Rapha down, missing with the rail conversion, but that's okay, because maxter has complete control of the map.
He's just running at Rapha with such a stack, and Rapha just can't handle the speed, the tempo, the aggression, and the aim. All of it combined, Maxter, when he feels himself, is just scary. And Rapha, he's running out of time. 3 minutes now. He has to make something happen. But every time he takes a push, he's getting hit by a rail. I mean, why is he using a rail in that situation? It doesn't matter. He's hitting it. And another one.
Oh my god. Into the shotgun, the pineapple just going next to Rapha's shoulder, but the rockets are going to be what plants him. 11-3. And Dan, I don't know if anyone saw this coming, because you got the picks wrong. But 8 frag lead for the Magic Man, sending us into map number 3. More than likely. Again, it would take an absolute miracle at this point. The Mega into the totem. This is good damage for Rapha, but Maxter takes out Maxter. 15 HP after that scuffle, and Rapha is still weak and can't really convert off the spawn.
You can ban scale, but you're still gonna get a kill, and
you
wow.
can't ban Maxter.
Can't ban Maxter. Look at his stack, he's coming back at you. He hasn't got a rail, he doesn't care. He's just gonna light come down. Pineapple from behind. Rapha's just reeling at the moment.
Oh no!
Okay.
The timing of that at Rapha. I would love to see the eye roll.
At least
Let's
he found
take a look at it.
the amusing side of that. Wow, that just sums up this map for Rapha. Everything's gone maxed his way, but he's forced Rapha's hand, and Rapha didn't have the cards today.
Oh man, I mean the cards are firmly in Maxter's hands. He's out there doing street magic right now. 12-3, less than 2 minutes remaining. And just what a display by Maxter. As we've seen yesterday, taking out Cooler and Kilson. Wow, putting on a show against Rapha.
Oh, I'm definitely copying his mouse settings.
Yeah, please, Maxter, if you're listening, please send us your mouse settings. Maybe a jersey from the Blackhawks clan, just saying. So Rapha has a tall order ahead of him, map number 3. And yeah, just such a good showing from Maxter. So strong. This is exactly what we thought. More his tempo, more his pace, throwing that weight around of Keel, using that stack to his advantage. And it really opens up his game to play how he wants, which is taking high risk, high reward, because he can hit like a truck. It's just a matter of, is he going to have the stack to deal with the opponent's incoming damage?
Yeah, I mean, this game started with chaos, is going to end with chaos, but Rapha was unable to play a Rapha game and stamp any authority on it. And in all honesty, he's had 10 items total, heavy and mega.
Oh my god, Maxter.
Maxter's had 14 heavies and 11 megas. He's just controlled the map, he's timed perfectly. It's not just been a showreel of highlights, it's been a very controlled, disciplined game, as well as all of these incredible shots.
Yeah, I mean, firmly behind the Frag Movie highlights is textbook ABC play on this map. Just really, really well done. The closing seconds come in for this one, and Maxter again!
This might be the biggest loss we've seen from Rapha in the QPL, 17-4. He's finally got the overstack, 9 minutes 45 in.
And there's still time, Dan. No.
There's still time.
He hits the rail. 8 seconds left, and he's going to take a breather, call the GG. In chat, we have a ball game. And we are going to go into Exile, map number 3. Potential PTSD for Maxter, although Galena's not going to be an issue. It's going to be PJ versus the Strog on this one. And Dan, this one's heating up. This is exactly what we wanted.
Oof. I mean, I thought I was hot seeing you, but that map made me sweat buckets.
Gonna have to unbutton another button. I can't. We'll get banned.
All I can say is that I'm glad the picks were that way around. I'm pretty sure if Max was playing the Galena, it would not have played out like that. But he got the kill, he got what he wanted, and it's what we saw earlier in the stage when he played the scale. He's just able to run that map and play at such a high tempo, and those shots were glorious. We were on the South American server, so Maxter was on low ping. We'll go back to the North American server now, but he's shown he can do it before with that level of ping.
Yeah, that's true. For those playing the home version, that was the SA server, if you care, if you want to use that in your pile of excuses for however this plays out. But going into Exile, it's going to be more about the medium versus medium. Maxter's not going to have the ability to really throw around that extra stack weight. And so we'll see if that weighs in on him. BJ versus Strog, again, in terms of the picks, Dan, do you favor one over the other on Exile specifically?
I favor the Strog slightly. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Blazkowicz. I still think it's useful, and rapha favors him. But we all know that Maxter plays best when he's got a tempo-based champion, and Strog is another one. And he played, I believe it's exactly Strog he played before on Exile when he nearly beat rapha, and he did an amazing job. He only lost because of the totems, and this time rapha doesn't have them. So if it plays out in the same fashion, technically he should win. But it's a different game, different set of champions, different environment. Let's see what he brings to the table. If he brings that level of aim and he's going to have to hit his rails, then he's definitely in with a shot. If his rails aren't connecting, completely different story.
Well, now the question is, did we get the picks wrong on the Strog versus BJ?
If we
we'll
did,
see.
yeah,
We'll
no.
see, because that does matter.
But
And,
look at the items. I've never seen rapha play with so few items.
I took a quick peek in the lobby. Rapha is on the BJ, Maxter's on the Strog, so that's locked. So, again, that adds to the storyline that you mentioned before. We've been here with Maxter on the Strog, on Exile, and he only lost to the Galena overstack. Well, it had a heavy effect on the outcome. I'm not going to say he just lost because of that, but this creates a very interesting run back all the way to map 3 in the upper bracket. Maxter gets his chance for redemption against Rapha on Exile as a Strog, and what better story to tell, Dan?
Well, couldn't have been played out any better. I'm glad we got all three.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're a Quake fan, we're all winners. Although somebody is going to be a sore loser after this one, and it's going to hurt. This one is, there's a lot on the line here. Upper bracket, again, and just between these two, I don't want to say there's a rivalry, but I mean, Maxter, again, one of the two people to give Rapha that blemish on his otherwise perfect record this season.
Yeah, but you showed what it took, right? It took playing his balls out and hitting unbelievable shots, 60+ rail, just to trash and destroy Rapha. He played out of his mind, so he just needs to continue that going into this map. Not a lot to ask. Let's see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, that's pretty much another day in the office, just trashing Rapha, beating him by 12, 10+ frags. I mean, yeah, who hasn't done that in the QPL? But the bell has rung, and we are going to get into it. Map number 3 between these two, Rapha versus Maxter. Upper bracket action here in the Stage 2 finals. It's going to be a good one. Predictions, let me take a quick look here. Even though you hate the Twitch chat for whatever reason, Dan. Firmly in Rapha's favor, 77% to 23. But I don't know. Maxter is no stranger to this map, especially with the Strog. He has the experience. Does he have what it takes to put himself over the edge on Rapha? What a day that would be. What a story for Maxter. Taking out Cooler, Kilson, and then knocking down Rapha. Just running through the champs. The gauntlet, man.
What did I say? It's written in the stars 40.
We'll see. We'll see. Rapha has a little something to say about that, I'm sure. But let's just hope we get a nice, tight matchup here. So we're going to go on to Exile, and Sync Error lurking in the shadows. He might put up some frags too. We're live. Map number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Rapha versus Maxter. Upper bracket action here at the Stage 2 finals.
Oof, I am ready.
I've been waiting my entire life for you to say that, as Rapha trying to spam out that TP, make sure there's no shenanigans. Maxter grabbing what he can to be ready for battle. Already has all the items, weapons rather, at his disposal. Rapha a little bit late to the LG, still working his way towards rail. Does secure it without issue.
Items are on pretty much exactly the same time, so they will be trading here. Maxter just scouting out at a heavy just to see what's going on. Here's Rapha down there, so skirts his way across to the Mega, and they do trade.
Rail there. Rapha tried to place down a rocket, but Maxter pops him with the rail. Nothing too crazy from either player right now. A minute in. Rapha playing slow, almost trying to get a little rocket damage. That's a good rail there as Maxter gets caught flying off the jump pad, does a ledge clip. Almost gets another one. Rapha knew the heavy was going to spawn, so Rapha's got timing on both items, as does Maxter. The peeker comes out, dealt with nicely. Here it is. Rapha wants to take the fight to him. Dual LG coming out, and now he's stuck in the back cave. Maxter tries to max damage, but Rapha gets the best of him and strikes first blood.
Yeah, it is pretty scary when you do get caught by the jewel. That's when obviously BJ comes out in full force. So really well played to pin maxter down in the corridor. Doesn't have enough time to get across to the Mega as well. Decides just to concentrate on the Heavy now and try and do some damage on the Mega. Maxter's there, but not going to take it actually. So rapha will pick up both major items as Maxter favors going down to get the rail during that window of opportunity.
Missed rail there from rapha, but deals with the peeker nicely, negating any kind of extra damage that the peeker could employ here. Is rapha trying to spam damage. Maxter getting away relatively easily, actually taking that second rocket a little bit. Oh, dropping down, and Maxter actually gets good damage, steals away the Heavy, and now rapha's left with 50 HP. What just happened?
I don't know. He comes on through, gets caught by a big rocket. No, they do trade, so that's really fortunate for Maxter, having suffered that big rocket. He also comes through the teleport nail gun, not really connecting, but he's in position for the Mega. Nice play. rapha's down there spamming with a rocket, just some decent damage. Maxter hasn't got the weaponry to contest for the Heavy. He does now, and rapha's going to forfeit it, it looks like. Again, he himself favoring to use the time to go pick up the LG, get in position to do some damage. Nice big rocket coming out from Maxter. He gets up top this time. rapha will now skirt across to get the rail.
And again, that drop down earlier that we saw that led to the mutual frag is such a Maxter play. High risk, hits like a truck, high reward. But I imagine once Maxter gets a little bit better of a stack, we're going to see more of that. But the stack right now firmly in rapha's favor.
And this is the big period of the game for Maxter to stabilize, because as you say, rapha's got full control. Now the items have a big split between the two, 15 seconds. Maxter has to get the weaponry and begin to connecting with his rails, because otherwise rapha's going to be able to run rampant with this huge stack he's got in his favor. See how vigilantly rapha's patrolling the high ground, keeping an eye on that rail. He knows that Maxter doesn't have it yet, so wants to make sure he delays the pickup and punishes the pickup as much as he can, but also cannot forfeit any of these items for free.
Maxter doing a good job of grabbing what he can to keep that natural stack, but rapha is just stacking them up high. Good tri-bolt return after Maxter hits a beautiful rail, make that 2. The Mega's going to be up shortly. Can Maxter hit a post pickup? Mega, maybe he won't. The Argentinian air assault comes in, but it won't do it, but the rail after the fact does. Almost hits another one, but now Maxter's weak. 13 HP stuck in the back cave again, and this could be certain death as rapha lets him escape. Actually, the double back costs him, and rapha pulls out the shotgun and finishes that off. Unfortunate there for Maxter.
Yeah, but unfortunate and a bit greedy as well. He'd done his job by hitting 2 or 3 rails in a row. He went back for one more that wouldn't even have finished rapha, and it cost him dearly. Going down a couple of frags. He's now bullied rapha off the Mega. He's going to go down below, try and hit some spam. Got a rocket. He doesn't actually connect, which is good work from Maxter. He's got himself away, but just needs to get some weapons and begin to stabilize now. rapha's He knows exactly what's up. He's keeping the punishment on as Maxter is... Can't really do anything at this point in time. Has to use the peekers to even get rapha away.
Oh, and rapha picks him out of the skies. He jumps over for the 50 shard, and Maxter tried to get a little clever there with that peeker play waiting outside the telly, but halfway in it kind of backfired, and rapha's up by 3.
Yeah, and it feels very reminiscent of map 1 here, where rapha's just patrolling and being calculated in the engagements he's taking. He's managing the weaponry really well. You can see punishing Maxter to even look to get a weapon.
The wheel comes out. Good rockets from Maxter from up above. That does win out on the Heavy, so denying the Heavy from Maxter just as important as the item control firmly in rapha's grasp. Have you mentioned the jump over the LG? Doesn't quite push him off, but now rapha in a bad way. Ooh, but that tri-bolt, Maxter needs to watch out, and the rail won't connect, so Maxter luckily able to grab the Mega. Rocket, will it land? Here comes the peeker to follow up. rapha's done really, really well to make sure that peeker doesn't get a lot of mileage, but flying through the telly, and this should be a frag, and it is for Maxter as he catches him out. Oh, and off the spawn, the big rocket! Wow!
Oh, what a spawn, but still had to get in connect with the rocket, which he did. Unfortunately, all that work for Maxter now down the drain. Opposition for the Mega with the heavy machine gun. rapha just wants to do something. He knows there's only a machine gun to work with. Jewel comes out, machine gun comes out, but rapha's getting melted!
No. Oh, the mortal enemy of rapha, a wall, as he takes out rapha 4-2. Maxter only down By 2 frags, does need a little bit of armor now, but hesitant over the telly. But now item control, at least on the heavy. It's going to be a tough road to get back into position for the Mega.
Rapha's done an amazing job of managing the pickup of the rail. Maxter's used it extremely well when he's had it, but he's barely seen it. Looking for the rail, comes flying through the teleport and catches Rapha slightly off guard. But jump around the corner with the lightning gun. The rail's there, doesn't connect, and Rapha gets a free Mega.
Not quite the bounce that maxter wanted. He was hesitant to go around the corner, as he should be, but he smelled it right there. Those are kind of one of the maxter plays that we would have seen. He would have pushed through, possibly converted right before the Mega, but now look at what has happened to Rapha's stack. Absolutely gigantic yet again, as we've seen throughout this map, it feels like. And the rail, maxter in a bad way, no rockets. He has to run and hide and try and stabilize, as we are 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes left in this map number 3 between these two. What a rail from maxter into another one, and it's happening again, Dan, the magic.
But the item control isn't there. All the rails are done, but Rapha's picking all up the items. The air rocket, though, that's there. 1 frag in it, 42.5 minutes to go. Is there more magic left in the Argentinian today?
Maxter fan, you're hoping, you're praying. The rail jump across is fantastic. That has to make Rapha be very careful with his next move. Is he going to eat another rail? Good dodging from Rapha. But maxter, after this Mega pickup, should be able to get into the heavy. He's going to go all in. The LG, is it going to be enough? It's not. The shotgun's going to take out Rapha. Tied at 4 off the spawn. He's to be careful. The conversion with the rail. What a shot.
He's left all the health just to do damage. What a bloody madman. Mega's up in a second. Rapha's going for the rail. Max is there. He's hit him. Rapha's so low. The beacon comes out. Just needs to crash it, pick up this Mega, and get across to the heavy. And this is now really in Max's corner to win. He hasn't got an item. He's got Rapha. Rapha goes down with 1.5 minutes to go.
Absolutely unbelievable heavy in maxter's possession, and he gets away. The dual wield blown now by Rapha, and maxter is in full control. Can he catch him out? Here's the rockets. The chase is on, but he's out of rails.
Out of rail and low LG. He's been melted as well. Rapha knows how weak he is. He will be pushing in here. There's no dual wield. And Rapha's now gone down to the low ground. He's going to have to go through the TP, and maxter forfeits position. He needs weapons. Oh, he's seen the pickup. He knows how weak he is. He might just have to run now. The heavy's up, but he's not there, and Rapha's stack is big. This is the opportunity for the American. He just has to find maxter.
Can maxter slip and slide his way into, quite possibly, one of the biggest upsets we might see this weekend?
Dual wield comes out.
Chase is on. There's the dual wield. Big rocket, yeah, but Rapha converts. The dual wield too strong for maxter. 5-5, but off the spawn, Rapha's able to convert again with the rockets.
Oh, what a spawn! Still 30 seconds to go. Maxter comes flying through, but the Mega's picked up, and Rapha will clean it up just to take the series away. Scrapes the victory. Oh, and there we go, the victory frag. I'm sure there is a huge sigh of relief, and wow, that was maxter's to win, and unfortunately wrong decisions at the end. Extremely well played from both players.
Wow, what a show from these two players. That was absolutely incredible. But Rapha just, he's the 2-time champion for QPL. I mean, add this to the resume, right? Like, just another incredible performance, being able to stay calm under pressure.